What do you think makes this book series resonate and connect with so many people around the world?
I think people respond to the magicians because it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy world grounded in reality. I don't know of any other fantasy novel that creates a world that explores everything that we would hope the world could be, while also exploring the real consequences of those dreams coming true, kind of.
Right. It's grounded. There's a darkness and this underbelly that they showcase, whereas with a lot of magic shows or fantasy, sci-fi, it's kind of glossed over. It's this beautiful, amazing imagery of what like we would want it to be or what our fantasy is. Whereas this is like, no, there's still a lot of intense and dark things that you have to handle while you're in this world of magic. And, you know, the distinction between the two.
So, of course, we have to compare Magicians to Harry Potter. What steps do you think the show has taken to make it stand out between Harry Potter and other magical-based shows and movies?
I was gonna say that it's a good comparison. What I've been doing is it's kind of like Bret Easton Ellis meets Harry Potter. Magic is real, it's dark, it's scary, it's a burden. It's not necessarily this great thing. So you have to learn what it is your ability is and hone it. And that's the challenge, you know, and showing these characters on their journeys to figuring that out and how to master it. That's what I...
Yeah. And just specifically about the magic itself, I think it's more than learning a word and flicking a wand. It's more like organic chemistry. It's really learning how you using kind of like the knowledge of this kind of like science, and then combining that with your human emotions, and also kind of like all the circumstances of the world. A real true magician is in tune with everything, and so it's kind of like building you to be the greatest human being you can be is also kind of creating you as the greatest magician that you can be.
Using tools for life rather than like, these ethereal things.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't want to give away too much, but we also, what's cool about this show is that we incorporate kind of a modern form of dance with our fingers to kind of like translate certain things. Rather than just doing a poof and a special effect, we've been training with this Kevin, he's wonderful, it's a choreographer, so to speak, and we've been learning certain movements to use. So it's almost like a form of dance with our fingers.
Wow, that's actually fascinating.
Really cool.
So magic is very native and home at video games, and if the Magicians had its own video game, what would you be doing it? What kind of spells would you be flinging around?
Wow, I have no idea. I have
that's sort of a difficult question because in this world there is no like spell that will fix one certain thing.
Right.
You'd encounter a problem and you'd write a spell in the moment. You have like a couple touchstones of like this makes something levitate, that makes something do this, but you have to morph it to do something very specific to what you need it to do in the moment. So that actually would make a great game and a really complicated one, I think.